What's going on, guys? It's Jacob from Topside MMA, and I'm here to bring you my confidence rankings for UFC 318. Now let's get straight into this video. First up, we're going to go with, we got Ryan Spann versus Lukasz Brzeski. Now, Ryan Spann is the better MMA fighter in every single aspect of the sport. He's the better striker. He's the better grappler. He's more dangerous. The thing is that they're both not as durable as they should be, which is why it's not a lock. But for these odds, this is a absolutely great pick. This is a layup for Ryan Spann because Lukasz is only 1-5 in the UFC. He is not that good. If Ryan Spann cannot get this win, he should just be cut from the UFC. So Ryan Spann is a very confident pick for this. Not quite a lock because he's not as durable, but he's a very confident pick here. Moving on. Low pick here, we got Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. Now, I know these two have fought already. Dustin's won both times, but the thing is, they're both getting older and Dustin's approaching his retirement. It's hard to really have a ton of confidence in him to perform like he did in his first two fights because they're so many years apart. But the thing is Max Holloway is coming off a bad knockout loss against Poirier, so we don't know where his head is at. We don't know where his chin is at. We know Dustin can hit hard, and we know Dustin has won the last two fights, and he's cracked. And he has the capability in his hands to crack anyone. So it's hard to pick Holloway with a lot of confidence because at least we know Dustin, he has the hands still, and we know he's in his hometown. It's just the mentality behind both of these guys. We don't know where they're both at mentally exactly in this point. So it's hard to exactly put a point on it because they're both so good at the same time too. But you got to lean Dustin Poirier in this one, at least in my point of view. And I like him in here. I like him to probably go to a decision, maybe a knockout. But I like Dustin Poirier. But you just can't be super confident either way because this could easily go for either fighter in this one. Next up, we got Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. Now, I love Jimmy Crute in this one. He has a huge ground game advantage over Marcin Prachnio. Marcin Prachnio is just a karate one-trick pony. That's all he has. The second it gets to the ground, it is over. He got subbed by Lukasz, who is a professional kickboxer who had only had, I think, 3 submissions ever in his entire UFC career or his entire mixed martial arts career. So for Jimmy Crute, who is an actually good grappler, to fight him, this should be a layup. I know Jimmy Crute has not had success in his last 5 years. You know, he has looked bad. He's had draws. He's had losses. He hasn't won a fight in years. That's why these odds are so close. But he's still a big favorite for a reason. It's because the ground game is not even close. The second Jimmy Crute gets this to the ground, it should be over. He should be able to land a quick early submission. If he has to drag this out and it gets into the later stages of the fight, we know Prachnio's conditioning is not good enough to go a full 3 rounds and where he can look fresh and look good. So if this does end up drawing out to later rounds, Jimmy Crute is going to thrive there. I know his cardio has been a problem in the past, but against the guy with such terrible ground game, he should still be able to get a submission even if this goes into later rounds of the fight. Now, the thing is, Prachnio does have some pop in his hands. Jimmy Crute has been knocked out, and he's been knocked out early before. There's a bit of a concern there in terms of Jimmy Crute's chin, but I don't think it'll get there. I just don't think Prachnio is that good to be able to land a shot like that early in the fight. It's a possibility, but I don't see it happening, and I love Jimmy Crute's advantage on the ground game. I love his submission abilities, so I think he should be able to get a submission in this fight, and that's what I'm picking. I'm confident in that. Moving on. We got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull is 38 years old. He's coming in from a different organization. Yeah, he looked great in Bellator, but now he's fighting in the UFC. He looked like shit against Yair Rodriguez. Now he's fighting Dan Ige. Dan Ige is an absolute warrior. He's ready to fight with anyone on any notice. He's fought absolute legends. He won a round against Diego Lopez and Lerone Murphy. He looked good against too. Those were close fights, and one of them with Diego Lopez, he showed up on close notice. With short notice. And he's fighting Patricio Pitbull, who's 38 years old, with such a small weight class like they're in. It's just, I can't see him doing well. He's not going to look any better. He's just going to look worse and worse. The thing is that Patricio Pitbull, this is a good matchup for him. Dan Ige is the type of guy that he wants to fight. Now, we saw against Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez is very tall, very lengthy. That's a tougher matchup for Patricio Pitbull to do well in. Whereas Dan Ige is more his size. He could have more success there. So that's why I have it as a medium confidence pick, not a high, just because of that factor. But I just think Dan, the way he is in his career right now, he's on an upward trajectory. He's beaten good guys. He's beaten the lengthier, taller strikers. Like we saw against Sean Woodson. He can perform against anyone. He won a round against Diego Lopez on 4 hours hours notice. Do I think that's going to compare against the Patricio Pitbull? Absolutely. I think it's going to compare extremely well against that. Like, Dan Igue's skills are just, they're slept on because he's not going for the belt right now, but he's so skilled. He's a dog. He has great durability. He's not getting finished, and he has power in his hands, and he can rock Patricio Pitbull, and he's going to be the faster striker here. And now Patricio Pitbull has a good ground game, but I don't think that's going to be enough for Dan Ige because he's so damn durable. He doesn't get finished. So I like Dan Ige in this. So give me the confident pick with Dan Ige, but medium confidence just because Patricio Pitbull is a legend of the sport. So you got to give him his respect there, but I like Dan Ige in this one. Moving on. Next up, we got Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. Now, Kyler Phillips, he sold everyone in his fight against Rob Font. You know, he gassed out. His cardio is a problem. He does these flashy damn strikes where he tries to do too much and he gasses out. If he has to grapple for an entire 15 minutes, he is going to gas out. And the thing with Vinicius Oliveira is that we've seen him go against the better strikers and the better grapplers. He won against a better grappler in Ricky Simone, and he won against the better striker against Said Nurmagomedov. And now he's going against Kyler Phillips, who's kind of in between both of those. He's not as good as either of them in either regard, and he has worse cardio too. So I think that's going to be a huge problem. Vinicius Oliveira has that dog in him too. You have to kill him to get him out of there. And Kyler Phillips has shown that he does not have that dog in him. Once his cardio starts to fade, he starts to give up. He starts to slowing down. He just doesn't seem like his heart is in it enough. And the way Vinicius has proved himself to be in the last couple fights, he's looked great. And I think that he's going to continue to look great. And I think he's going to beat Kyler Phillips. But this is a close one because Vinicius has been knocked out in all of his losses. So Kyler Phillips could land that shot. Round one, it could happen. But I just don't think it is. I like Vinicius here. I like him a lot. So moving on. Boom, we got Gautier versus Valentin. Now, Gautier is up and comer. He's dangerous. He has a ton of power in his hands. He's a physical specimen. And we've seen with Valentin, both of his losses they've come from his lack of ability to grapple. Once he gets to the ground, he's like a fish out of water. We saw it against Finney. We saw it against Loader. One was a decision, but one was a knockout. It was both of the same thing. He can't grapple. Once he gets to the ground, he's not looking good. And against a guy like Gautier, who is so strong and so physically empowering, if Gautier gets Valentin to the ground and he gets a ground and pound going with those hands, the power that he has, it is absolutely over. It won't be close. It'll be just like the Loader fight. And that's why I'm confident in that. But the thing is, if Gautier can't get an early finish, he does start to slow down a little bit. So I'm high in his ability to get a knockout. I'm high in his ability to be the stronger, faster, and more powerful striker here and just overall fighter. But the thing is that we just don't know how he will do if this fight does extend later on, because his loss was a shitty decision, but still he started to slow down in the later rounds. So that's my only thing holding me back on this fight, but he should win this fight. I like him in this fight. So moving on, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVey. The thing is with McVey is his chance in this fight is if this fight extends and Bruno Ferreira gasses out, Jackson McVey has good submissions that we've seen from him that he could land a late submission in this fight if he can drag it out. The thing is, Bruno Ferreira is so dangerous. He's fought the high-level competition. The guys he's lost to have been killers. Both of his losses, yeah, they're both finishes, but they're against high-level guys. And the two guys who finished him, I think would absolutely smoke Jackson McVey. So it's hard to try and pick Jackson McVey here, considering his only chance is really a late submission if Bruno gasses out. And that's only if Bruno gasses out, because Bruno is going to be the better striker. The grappling could be close from what we've seen. You know, Jackson has decent submissions, but those have been regional scene submissions. You know, we've seen Bruno Ferreira submit UFC guys. It's different. We can't compare them. You got to be confident in Bruno this week, but his gas tank and his durability does concern me just a tad. So that's why it's a little bit lower here. Moving on, same thing. Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov. Islam Dulatov looks like an absolute beast from what we've seen so far. His hands are like lightning speed. He knocks people out. He can submit people too. He is absolutely dangerous. I like him here against Adam Fugitt because Adam Fugitt is a dog. He won't quit. You know, like he will never give up on himself, which I do respect him a lot for. But the thing is, he's been finished. You know, he's been finished. He got subbed by Mike Malott. He got knocked out by Michael Morales. Like, He is breakable. You can finish this guy. And for someone who has so much speed and so much power like Islam Dulatov, I think he has enough to do it against a guy like Adam Fugitt. I just don't think Adam Fugitt is that good. He went to a split decision against Josh Quinlan. Has not aged well at all. And the way Islam is just moving up trajectory-wise, he's looking absolutely great for such a young age. And I really like him in this matchup. He definitely has the hands and the power to knock out Adam Fugitt here. If Michael Morales did it, I think Islam can totally do it. I think a first-round knockout is very possible, maybe second. I am a little bit hesitant because we haven't seen Dulatov go into later rounds, so we don't know exactly how his cardio is going to hold up, and that is my only concern. For whatever reason, if Fugitt can survive, and maybe Dulatov gasses out trying to go for a finish, but he can't get it early on, that might be a big problem, because we haven't seen this guy go long. And we know that Fugitt does have good cardio, and he can last if he's not finished. So that's the only concern for this one. But I like Dulatov. His hands are so fast, so powerful. He's so crisp with it. I think he could get him out of there. So I like him here. Moving on. We got Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Now, this is a tough one because these guys both don't like each other. They scrapped earlier this year in a damn casino. And the thing is, Marvin Vettori he has pillow hands. He doesn't have enough power to knock someone out. And against a guy like Brendan Allen, if he's not going to land more damage, I don't know how he's going to win this. I think Brendan Allen is the better striker. He's the better grappler. He has every advantage in this fight except maybe pure cardio. And that's about it. So as long as Brendan Allen does not gas out, he should win this fight. I don't see a realm where he loses this fight in terms of pure skill. The only way Brendan Allen loses this fight is if he runs out of gas or if he makes a stupid decision mid-fight and it costs him because he did something stupid. So that's why I'm not super confident in this because there's always a chance. The last two fights Brendan Allen has had, he has not made the best decisions and it has cost him. So I can't pick him with high confidence, but I do like Brendan Allen. He should be the better fighter here in every aspect. He should be able to get this win, but there's always the what if because Marvin Vettori is still a good fighter at the end of the day and he has a good chance here to win. So, but still, I like Brendan Allen. So that's why I have it as a medium confidence pick. So to the next one, we got our lock, or one of them. We got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Holland is a lock. He is so much better than D-Rod in every single aspect of MMA. It's not even close. Every single advantage is going for Kevin Holland. The age, the reach, the height. He's a better grappler. He's a better striker. There is no way D-Rod wins this fight. Kevin Holland is a lock here. And if Kevin Holland goes out here like he did against Roman Dolidze and breaks a rib and gets knocked out, I'm going to have to eat these words. But that's the only way I see D-Rod winning this fight. There's no way he wins a technical striking match against Kevin Holland and somehow is victorious in a decision. If he is, then clip this and I will eat my words. But I just don't see that happening. Realistically, I see them having a competitive striking match where Kevin Holland is landing the better strikes. He's faster with more pop in his hands for maybe a round or two. And eventually he's going to take it to the ground and D-Rod is going to be submitted. I don't see D-Rod going a full 15 minutes here. This is Kevin Holland's fight to win or throw. It's really up to him. Anything could happen. It is a fist fight, but I would consider Kevin Holland a lock here. He is just more talented in every regard of the sport. He has every physical advantage going for him. He's a very, very confident pick this week. Kevin Holland should win this fight, hands down. 9 out of 10 times, easily, Kevin Holland wins this fight. So that's all I got to say about that one. Moving on. We got Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Now, this is a tough one too because these guys are both going to strike and they're both durable enough to last. So this has a decision written all over it. Maybe split decision. It easily could be. So that's why it's hard to put it as a high confidence pick considering they're both decent strikers. The thing is, Roman Kopylov has more power in his hands. He's proven against better strikers too. We've seen Paulo Costa when he's gone against high level strikers like Izzy, which is a total. It's hard to compare that because what I'm going to say about Roman is when Paulo Costa fought a high level striker like Izzy, he looked absolutely horrible. When Roman Kopylov fought a high level striker like Cesar Almeida, who beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing, so you can't call him a poor level striker, even though their MMA careers are totally different. And Israel Adesanya is one of the best of all time. So it's hard to compare them there, but at the same time, when we see them both go against high-level kickboxers, there are different results with both. We saw Paulo Costa get absolutely dominated by Israel Adesanya. It was not even close. It was an absolute ass-kicking, or at least with Roman Kopylov when he fought Cesar Almeida, who has beaten Alex Pereira in kickboxing. We saw he took the first round clean from him. He knocked him down. So, if this is a technical striking match, I like Roman Kopylov a lot here. And the thing is, neither of these guys go for takedowns. So, I think this is going to be a technical striking match, and that's why I lean heavily on Roman Kopylov. But these guys are both high level. A million things could happen. You never know. Maybe Paulo Costa says screw being passive. Maybe he's going to go out and just swing like crazy and go absolutely like insane. Go out there and just try to swing, hit anything he can. You never know. Or maybe he starts going for takedowns because he knows Roman has power in his hands. So anything could happen here, because we haven't seen Paulo Costa in a minute, and I know he's been kind of on a bad streak lately, and I know he's trying to switch things up. So anything could happen here. It's high level, so I'm a little bit less confident, but I like Roman Kopylov. If this is a striking match, I like Roman Kopylov. He should be better. He should have more power in his hands. I think he could knock Costa down. I do think this goes over, but Kopylov should be able to get this done if it goes to a decision, as long as he doesn't gas out. So, moving on, we got Francisco Prado versus Nikolay Veretennikov. Prado he's only like 23 years old, but he's looking so good for his age. Considering he is short and stocky, he's looked good against long rangier strikers. Like when he fought Zellhuber, he took the first round off of him. And being such a huge disadvantage in the reach and the height, that was impressive to me because Zellhuber is a good striker. Whereas Veretennikov, he's had just nothing but holes in his game. He's 35 years old. We haven't seen any real improvement from him in his game, and his ground game is his major weakness. We saw Prado land a takedown against Jake Matthews, and Jake Matthews is a damn good fighter who is slept on. So if he can land a takedown against Jake Matthews, he's going to be able to land against Veretennikov. It's a matter of if Prado really goes for that game plan. I think Prado can beat Veretennikov on the feet, striking. But if this gets close, I hope he has the fight IQ to try and go for takedowns and make it the easiest path that he can have here. Because there's really no reason why he should sit and strike on the feet for a whole 15 minutes when he knows Veretennikov has no ground game. So I'm hoping Prado is smart enough to include that side of his game plan, the ground game. I hope he goes for takedowns. And if he goes for takedowns and he lands takedowns, he's going to look like a minus 1,000 here. It's just a matter of if he does it or not. So that's why I have it on the lower medium side, because you never know how he's going to do. And you never know if he's going to go for those takedowns because he does like to strike for the most part. So it's hard to say exactly what he's going to do here. But I still like Prado in this one, so give me Prado here. Now, the second lock, we got Daniel Zellhuber versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's 39 years old. He's a good striker. He's gone against the best of the best. But he's 39 years old as lightweight. That's just not going to hang. That's not going to be able to do well. He's going against a guy like Daniel Zellhuber, who's only 26 years old. He's getting better and better with every fight. He's been tested against good strikers like Esteban Ribovic, where he went to a split decision. It was so close. I think he did lose that fight, but it was a damn good example of how good he is at only 26 years old. We have not seen the best of him from that last fight. He's going to look even better in this fight. And Michael Johnson, at 39 years old, he's just going to look worse and worse. It's a passing of a torch. I don't see any way that Michael Johnson can win this except for a lucky fluke knockout, which Zellhuber's never been knocked out before. So I just don't see that happening at all. Give me Daniel Zellhuber. He should be he's the longer striker, he's the taller striker, he's younger, he's faster, he's going to have more pop in the hands. He has every way to win this. And Michael Johnson's not some chain wrestling demon who's going to take him down and hold him down the entire fight. So this is going to be a striking match. In Zellhuber, this should be a masterclass performance from him. He should be able to really dominate this fight. Maybe a knockout, maybe a decision. It could be a submission. Who knows if he wants to take it to the ground, because Zellhuber has good ground game. But he could win this fight anywhere it goes. He should be a lock this week. I love Zellhuber in this one. So For the next one, this is the damn trap of the card for the last pick of the day. This is a damn trap. We have Carli Judice versus Nicole Cagliari. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is the trap of the card. You can't have a minus 300 favorite. Both of these girls have taken the same girl to a split decision. I don't know when we're going to learn here. I don't know when we're going to learn. These girls are both green. They're both fresh in the UFC. They had a common opponent, and they both had a split decision loss. And now one is a minus 300 favorite versus the other. I like them both. They're both dogs. They both want to fight. They both want to scrap. They both want to swing. They're both well-rounded. They're both good fighters, and I like them both. I have no bias in this fight at all. The thing is, neither of them should be a minus 300 over the other. We saw Judice in her last fight. She knocked out a girl who was really getting into the UFC of just landing haymakers. You could say are arguably lucky. So for her to be a minus 300, it makes no sense. I don't want anything to do with this fight just because we don't know how these girls are. They're both finishers. They finish all their wins, but they're durable. They don't get finished. So we don't know how this is going to go. Does one of them have more pop in the punch? Does one of them have a better ground game? We don't know about yet. There are so many red flags in this fight. You can't have any confidence in this one. Now I know I do have Judice selected. But this is a trap for a reason, just because you can't have that much confidence in either of them. They're so green. They don't have the experience to be a minus 300 favorite over a contender who has the same amount of experience as they do. You know what I mean? Like, they're both right at the same level. They both seem to have the similar skill set. Sure, Carli might have a little bit more range, a little bit more height, but we've seen from Cagliari that she has good takedowns. You know, she has that grappling game she goes for. This should be a damn pick'em. And I want to avoid this one entirely. This seems like the absolute trap of the card. You could even argue Vettori versus Allen is a trap. You could argue Holloway versus Poirier is a trap because they're such later stages in their careers. We don't know where the hell either of their mentalities are at this point. There are a couple other ones you could argue. You know, like you could even argue Prado versus Veretennikov is a trap. Because you don't know who is really going to be able to have their way. Can Prado land takedowns? Can Veretennikov keep it at distance striking? Like, there are a couple examples, but I think the real trap of this card is for this one. Judice versus Cagliari. Just because they're so green. We don't know enough about them. We don't know if either of these girls really have any weaknesses because we haven't been able to see it. Whereas, at least with some of these other fights, these matchups, like we can tell one fighter has a serious disadvantage. One fighter has a serious advantage in terms of like the grappling or the striking or the cardio or the durability, whereas with these two girls we just don't know yet. So that's why I have them as the trap for this card. And I know I was talking a lot about this one, but you know, it's really tough to predict, so I think this is the trap for sure. So anyway, guys, that about does it for this wrap up for my confidence levels for UFC 318. If you guys like this video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, come around for more videos. I got my full card breakdown coming tomorrow. We got more videos coming for this card with best bets. We've got a ton of stuff coming this week, so stay tuned, stay subscribed, and yeah, tune in later this week for more videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until I see you guys in the next one, it's your boy Jacob from Topside MMA. And I'll see you guys around here soon. So, peace.